Evening guys, Crypto Freedom. I'm back with another ICO. This one isn't even in pre-sale yet. The date hasn't been announced, but there's a reason I'm bringing this one up. It's a lot more complicated than a lot of the other ones out there, to put it lightly. This video here, which just runs through it quite quickly, is still 10 minutes long. But the reason I'm bringing this one up is I understand exactly where this one's coming from and can see this one being a successful business entity. What you've got is right now, you struggle with the fact that you have multiple things in multiple places on whatever, on your phone, on your computer, whatever. What I mean is you have, like, if you go to the iStore, you've got your apps in there. You go to get dApps or whatever on the crypto, it's in another thing. You get subscriptions for things like Coral Draw. The payments are in a different thing. The dApps want most of the stuff in their currency, and it's all splintered. This is trying to not only bring all that into one place, but also doing a structure where it simplifies for coders as well, because obviously if everything's working together and built in a certain way, it becomes faster to develop, and the framework built on that makes it not only faster, but you can actually have integration with multiple things that you weren't originally involved with, because you've all got one central entity that everyone's connecting to. And this is where Cardstack comes in. And that's just a little bit about it. And in all honesty, it would take me a good hour to actually explain it, because even though they've explained it, it's still needing a lot more breakdown. But the reason I like this is I know exactly where you can use it. I mean, if you imagine you have one payment system to pay everything, it doesn't matter if it's for iTunes, whatever, your dApps, your Coral Draw, whatever, and you just have one card stack that deals with everything, then from an end user, it simplifies the whole process. But also, they will then be using dApps for a solution for a real world without having to even understand crypto, because Cardstack deals with it all. So from that point of view, you're sort of like integrating crypto without people even understanding crypto. But watch the video. It's 10 minutes long, and there will be bits in there where you're going, hang on, what's it doing here? But at the same time, I get it. I understand exactly where this is going. I can understand why they want to structure it the way they're doing it. It's well thought out. It's a very, very good project. And like it says, I mean, I don't think the token's available. I'll open that up when we have a look down here. There is 4 papers for this. You got the white paper, and there's a bit of a breakdown for different reasons. You got this one's for the token allocation, but there's several documents breaking down like how you get rewards, what it's actually doing. There's a lot of information. I'll come back to that one in a second. There you go. Vision paper, tally protocol, reward model, smart contract mechanism. It's all broken down there. And this, like I said, because it's building its own framework, although this is a mammoth task, once people start developing on it, it then starts taking a mind of its own, especially if you can focus on getting it together and then getting people to use it. Then you can actually focus on bringing on some of the other stuff that may not be geared towards integration, but you could integrate it so it works with it. So I get it. But it's difficult to explain it without actually going through the video and stuff. But currently you've got everything silo working, whether it's dApps, whether it's the App Store, whether it's just the payment systems. They're sort of independent. They're not all integrated, and this is going to bring all this together, which benefits developers. It brings it into the real world. it just simplifies everything. But at the core of this is actually having a framework that brings everybody into the right direction. It just focuses it all. But you need to look at it to understand it. It's not something I can just say, oh, just have a look. It's 2 minutes. It's a lot more complex than that. And the whole point is it's decentralizing it at the same time as well, because it understands the fact of how a lot of good ideas often get bought out, let's put it in the polite way, bought out, absorbed or whatever. But with a decentralized platform and rewarding people for open source information, you can keep the developments going. So there's a lot of stuff in there. Go through the videos and have a look up Chris as well. I mean, he's even put his Twitter in there, so you could even message him or get him on his LinkedIn. And you get an understanding where the guy's come from, what he understands, and quite simply, it's a venture I'm buying into. You know, I love platforms. You know, I see that as a future. Look at Neo. Look at the way Lisk and some of the other ones are going. It's because they have the multifunctional support of not just being focused on one idea. They're expansive. This one is expansive in the same way, but also it's got integration with everybody else and trying to pull everything into the one location, which means it could potentially, if it gets mass adoption, be a very, very good investment. But I'll leave the one pager up here as well. There's this. See, even this, it's just explaining how the tokens work. It's yeah, there you go. End user buys. It's broken down where it's going. So yeah, I'll get an email. I would say watch the videos on this, read up on it, but it's not one you're going to spend 5 minutes reading up on. It's going to take you a couple of hours probably. It's well written. It's got all the information in there. I mean, even this is a one pager. You can see there's a fair bit of information in there. But what you're looking at predominantly is not just the app framework. You're looking at the ecosystem. Ignore the word token, the ecosystem, where it integrates everything into one place, which is the Cardstack. It's just going to be huge. And I know I'm not shilling it, you know, as people will call it, shilling it. It's basically, I love platforms. And this one, going through the stuff earlier, there's a lot of information in there. I can see how the different bits work, but it's just difficult to actually share it without actually sitting and watching. It's telling you, go and look at the stuff yourself, because there's just so much information. But it's another ICO coming up. Don't think it's advertised yet. Let's have a look. Where are we going? Yeah, they're looking to raise 35 total tokens. Set up in Switzerland. Whitelist. Know your customer, yes. Can't participate, US. 10% for pre-sale allocation. Where's the dates? Yeah, the date isn't set on there yet. Yeah, token sale isn't set yet. So I'd say it's one of those ones to keep an eye on because of what it is. That's all I can say on that. Read up on it, but I can definitely see this one going in multiple directions. Thanks for watching.